This video is going to cover everything about the CCG in Ghoul. I'll go over topics like how to join the CCG, how to get yourself your first Quinque, basically the CCG version of what a Kagane is for the ghouls, how to level up faster, and how to get endgame items like Ginkui, SSS Owl, and so on. But don't worry, this video includes a lot more, but those are some of the main points I'll guide you guys through. To make things even easier, I've divided the video into sections. So for example, if you wanted to learn how to level up faster, you can just skip to this part, or if you're looking to getting yourself the endgame weapons, you can then just skip over to that segment. That being said, I highly recommend you guys watching this entire video. It helps the channel, and I made sure to include as much useful information as possible. With that being said, let's start off with the question, how do I become a CCG member? So to become a CCG member, the first thing you'll have to do is make sure that you do not press on this. If you press on this, you will turn into permanent ghoul unless you wipe. So make sure that you do not press on this, and make sure you press on the human side, which is the CCG side. Obviously pick your gender and then type in your name and then press confirm. Once you're here, you should see, right there. You should see some sort of symbol, and basically you want to go over there because that's where the CCG base is. Or if you are unsure, or if the symbol doesn't appear, you can press P and then also see the CCG base. So I'm just gonna speed this up. Once you're here, you want to talk to the receptionist and then just skip through the dialogue, and then here we go. I'm ready to join. Click on that and then it will come up, you have joined the CCG. Once you have joined the CCG, you will also see that your money has gone up by 200. And then what you can do with that money is come over to the second floor and then pick up one of these 3 items. Now me personally, I'm going to go with spear, just because the spear has a lot more range, and that is way more, in my opinion, a lot more important than SPA. Yeah, it's just better. So now that you know how to become a CCG member, how do you level up effectively? So if you come over to the mission board over here, you can see there's only really deliver a box or strong Aogiri or exterminate some ghouls, which are okay. They aren't the most amazing missions, if I'm being honest. So what I'll do is I'll just switch over to another server. So I'll just go, like, for example, this, and then we'll pick up this one, because realistically I'm looking for a mission called boss fighting. So I'm gonna just skip to the part where I get to that mission. After server hopping for a bit, I finally found the mission, and as you can see, it's bosses fighting. So make sure you go over to the logo, and then be careful because these guys are very strong, but the point is you want to stay in a good amount of range and be able to poke the opposing faction members. So if you're a CCG, you want to hit the ghouls, and if you're a ghoul, you want to hit the CCG. So as said before, just be careful, because if you're fighting like someone like Noro, he is very he has a lot of range and he can hit you, and you really don't want to die, because when you die in this game you give health packs, and that can turn the tide of a battle immediately. So now we're getting some solid shots off. Okay, nice. As you can see, that was pretty much perfect. And now the Arima is on me. He will de-aggro very soon once the event is done. And then if you press on this, you'll get yourself a lot of good items. And I mean, that dropped a lot of good stuff, like for example the Kokoku fragment, which is super rare. I mean, it's not super rare, but for this level, yeah, that's really good. And as you can see, we got ourselves 500 yen as well, so we can even get ourselves some new outfit or some new clothes. So let me just skip to that part. So once we're here, I'll just pick up the Arima outfit, because oh wait, never mind, we can't even get that. Never mind, let's just get the blue one. I like the blue one anyways. Boom, and you will not feel any cold or freezing. You will not have any of that. However, if you don't get one of these bosses fighting missions, obviously you can switch to something like Aogiri higher ups, strong Aogiri, or help your faction. But help your faction is a coin toss. Is it coin? No, it's coin toss. My bad. It's a coin toss because once a faction defeats one member on the other side, it turns the tide of everything. Obviously, you want to help the faction that you are in, but if, for example, you're a CCG and a CCG member dies, I would honestly just run away because ghouls are very strong in the beginning. However, CCGs have a much higher ceiling. So to summarize, just pick any of these missions. If I'm being honest, every mission is good. I'd even say that these medium missions are something you should try because you should get comfortable with the combat in this game. However, like, obviously the hitbox aren't that amazing. Sometimes bosses might glitch out and things of that nature, so get comfortable. But yeah, try and do as many easy missions and then start to scale up to medium and then hard. Next up the list is going to be how do you get yourself your first Quinque. And if you don't know what a Quinque is essentially what a Kagune is for the ghouls. And how do you get that? Well, the first thing you have to do is become rank 1. That is if you want to get yourself a free Quinque, because you can craft yourself a Quinque before becoming a grade 1. But if you are a grade 1, you want to talk to her, you want to talk to Faye, talk to her, and then you want to kill a ghoul and then use the briefcase that you get from her. Unfortunately, it is completely random what sort of Quinque that you get, and you can only get one free Quinque. Unlike ghouls where they can keep on rolling their Kagune until they get something good like a legendary, CCGs don't have that luxury. However, something that we do have is something close to it, which is these blueprints. These blueprints give essentially a recipe for a weapon. So me, I have myself Ixa, which is a legendary, and I personally feel like it's one of the best weapons in the game. I could be biased, but whatever, that's not the point. The way I actually got this weapon was through these blueprints. Essentially, you want to click on them and then you discard the blueprint if you already have the recipe, and if you do not have it, you will have it in your recipe collector, crafting, whatever you want to call it. So to reach it, you want to come over to the laboratory, and then you want to come over to this desk over here, and then you will see what weapons you have. So as you can see, I have a bunch of these weapons. For example, this Narukami, which is a legendary, and if you're not familiar with what's legendary and what's not, you can come over to Ghoul Point Exchange and then hold the white character, and then you can see first of all the clans, and then if you come over to, oh wait, never mind, I'm just tripping. I actually did not know this, never mind. You know what, that's actually my bad, I did not know that. I'll actually just put a picture of what's legendary and what's not. But once you've crafted yourself a Quinque, you can also store it in here. This is going to be the Quinque storage. So as you can see, I have myself Ixa right now, and then if I come over here, interact, and then interact with my Yukimura, I can then store my Ixa and get myself my Yukimura. So as you can see, completely different moveset. Okay, well, that was nice. And then if I switch over to Ixa, you can see I have a completely different weapon. So that is how you get yourself your Quinque and how you can store your Quinque. So summarize, you can craft them or get one for free after completing the Irie quest. Last but not least, how do you get yourself the mythical weapons, that being SSS Owl, Ginkui, and Solace? So the first thing you want to do is get out of the CCG building, and then you want to come over here. You want to come over to this NPC over here. As you can see, this woman right over here. I don't know what this guy's speaking English, but whatever. You want to talk to her, and then you can select which NPC you want to fight. So for example, you can fight Noro, Eto, or Tatara. And essentially, Eto gives SSS Owl, Noro gives Ginkui, and Tatara gives Solace. Now me personally, I think Ginkui is the best for PvP, and SSS Owl is probably the best for PvE. However, I'm not really sure on that since I haven't gotten it. But if you are not sure which weapon to go for, do not worry. Every single one is insanely good. But okay, well, let's just go ahead. But if you are not sure what boss fights look, here is some footage of me fighting Eto. As you can see, it can get a little bit climactic, but really all you have to do is just do M1s and then parry. If you cannot parry, use the shield that Eto provides. Sorry, Ixa provides. It's a very good countermeasure, and if you don't have Ixa, obviously you can't really do much, just parry. It's not that difficult, but yeah. And yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for everything about the CCGs. If you want to know anything more, just comment down below, or I'll make a completely new video. But that's gonna be everything for this one, and I'll see you on the next one.